Good morning, Franz. How you doing? Y'all have a good weekend? Death was first today. That's a rare occurrence. Dina 30. Hello, nice to meet you. Thank you for the follow. How you doing? Nice to meet you. How did you find us? Why did you choose us to follow? Neff has redeemed a hydrate and a street. I'll take that street right now. Take meds and stuff. Yeah. Make sure you eat, Neff. How's the house hunting going, Neff? Where is my medicine box? Here's my medicine box. We need to refill our meds box. It's that time of the week. Let's see. 2, 4, 6, and the 7 doesn't go into the box. Iron! Put the jar back. Close the lid for the box. Put the box away. Death, thank you for the hydrate. We're going to take our maracas now. There we go. So, yesterday we went to sushi dinner again to do I thought it was a 3-way joint birthday, but it was a 4-way joint birthday. Turns out that SSJ Tyler's wife is also a July baby. Did I? I don't think I did. Well, I might have. Yeah, I was counting. I said 6 and then 7. It follows, when counting. You're going to say 6, 7, 8. I don't ascribe to Zoomer memes. Actually, it's not really a Zoomer meme. It's more like a Gen Alpha meme. I don't think Gen Alpha really understands memes if they think that that's a meme. I'm meme gating. Gatekeeping the memes. Anything can be a meme, let's be honest. Yes, it is a Gen Alpha meme. But anyways, my friend AC Street Rick was there, and he drove me home. Tyler picked me up, and Rick drove me home so he could come and meet Tesla. And he made me a birthday balloon thing. He does balloon party services. He makes balloon animals. It's pretty great. Well, I'll take a picture of it. It's pretty awesome. It's not gonna be the best photo in the world. It's really hard to take a picture of this thing. Alright. Got a picture of it. Post it to my Discord. Alright, hold on a second. Gotta go to my Discord. Alright, let's bring up Clip Studio. It's so funny though. So, my favorite thing for the longest time was Final Fantasy VII. And my favorite character was Sephiroth, of course. And so he made me a balloon version of Sephiroth as soon as I can find my art window here. So he made me a balloon Sephiroth. It's pretty great. It's got the one wing. It's got long silver hair. You can't see it in this picture. And then, Masamune, of course. It's kind of... It looks more like a fishing rod. It's pretty great. So, yeah. I have a balloon Sephiroth. I don't know what to do with it. Could just let it deflate after a while, I guess. The top part of the hair has already deflated. I guess the twist was a little too tight and it damaged the balloon. But yeah, balloon Sephiroth. It's pretty awesome for his first time making Sephiroth. It's got the one wing and everything. Yep. Let's turn this off again. Where is it? Art. Turn that off. So that's that. I figure we'd be doing more co-working today. Streams are going to be a little bit shorter until after Conquest. I've got to get my brother to take me out to the craft store so that I can get some new embroidery needles because I can't find mine. I can't find my sewing needles, I can't find my machine needles, and I can't find my embroidery needles. And it's very frustrating because I had them all in the same container before I moved. And now I can't find them at all. And I moved in October, well, end of September, so if I haven't found them by then, I'm certainly not going to find them in the next 2 days. And I have to do so much embroidery. It's, yeah. Hey, Kavach. So I have to go get some new embroidery needles. Did you see the balloon Sephiroth? My friend Rick made it for me yesterday. At dinner. But I also have to go out and buy some cat kibble today too. So I got 2 things I gotta do. Tesla needs his kibble. Yep. It's neat. Yeah, he made a Goku from Dragon Ball Z for Tyler, and Knights from I think it's just called Knights. For Mara and I. Except Knights look like a monkey. Let's not go standing in the rain. Let's go to the gazebo. We haven't been to the gazebo in a while. If there's supplies you need to borrow or retrieve from me, I'll be in the office Tuesday and Wednesday. What's R? Don't know any day of the week that starts with R. Thursday. We should just call it Ersday. Ersday. Hey, tracking. What is wrong with you? I don't know what's wrong with my computer, but the tracking is... Oh my lord. Hello? Vinyan? Help, I'm frozen. I'm frozen, guys. Ah! The 1-letter code was a thing I picked up from UW. Did they do that? I never noticed. We might have to use the emergency VTuber. Hello? Vinyan? I'm frozen. Okay, hi. I'll just be frozen in the background behind me. There's 2 me's. Yeah. In math, at least. Fair enough. Yeah, I never noticed. Ah, sorry for the cough. That might have peaked a bit. Hmm. Let's see. I think the rain sounds are a bit too loud. They're gonna put me to sleep if I don't turn them down a bit. Now remember, we do have scene change. If you want the scene to change, and we also have the DLC. So there's the train and the regular room, as well as this garden. Good morning, Cookie. How we have to show the Sephiroth balloon man to Cookie. Where's Art? Here we go. My friend Easy Street Rick, he does balloon animals for parties, and he made a balloon Sephiroth for me because it was my favorite character for the longest time. There you go. Enough of that horror. Oh, hey, look, I'm unfrozen again. Convenient. Turn off the emergency one. I am back. I don't know what was wrong with Vinyan, but it was hating on me. How was your weekend? Ross is lurking. Necromancer's lurking, of course. Nath is lurking. Very nice. Good way to start a Monday morning. Excellent, excellent. I appreciate you choosing us here. Someone named Dina followed us right at the beginning of stream. I don't know if they're still here. They don't appear to be. Nope, they're not here. It's probably one of those, I'm going to follow a bunch of people and see who follows me back in order to build up an audience. I hate that. Don't do that. I know it seems to work for whatever reason. Like, you follow like 1,000 people and maybe like 30 of them will follow you back, but that's enough to start an audience. I hate the way social media works like that. Just have their feed completely turned off, I guess, so they get nothing from all the people they follow. They just hope that the people who follow them back find something that keeps them there. I don't like that. But anyways, how are you? But yeah, Kavach, I can't find my embroidery needles at all. I have all of my floss, but I can't find any of my needles. I can't find my sewing machine needles. I can't find my, oh, I froze again. I can't find my hand sewing needles. I have found one, and that's because I had it in my conquest kit. Yeah, I think it's going to be an emergency VTuber day. Oh, well, maybe not. Maybe not. I need to update my Vinyan, I think. I like the little mushroom guy. I hope they make a plush of that one day. Little gremlin mushroom man. Well, let's see what his other variants are. A little brown one. And there's this weird coral colored and pink one. Green. And then there's the Sakura colored one. And then there's this one with the flower on it. A little rose. He's so cute, though. Look at his little mischievous face. Nah, I like the magic mushroom. He's the best. He's the best one. Change the color. I love this program. It's so cute. Oh, I found out that Tyler is relearning how to play guitar. I should do that too. I should relearn how to play. I've still got my guitar. I know where it is. It's the fingering is really hard though because of my arthritis. But there's this group at Conquest, and if you play any kind of wind instrument, they chop off your hand. How you get your hand back is up to you, but they'll chop off your hand. So I need to learn how to play an instrument that's not a flute. The flute's the only thing I know how to play. I want to create my own stringed instrument, though. Something that's kind of like an eru, probably. So I always preferred string instruments to wind instruments. It's just stringed instruments are very expensive. And I didn't know about things like an eru at the time, which has only 2 strings. But yeah, I figured we would co-work for a little while, give people a chance to filter on in, and then, oh god, this song's so loud. Give people a chance to filter on in, and perhaps then I'll read the first chapter for you guys. I'm having anxiety about that. I shouldn't have anxiety about that because you've seen the writing. But I'm gonna have to keep streams shorter because I have a lot of embroidery to do. And so I'm gonna have to go get embroidery needles first thing in the morning after stream. So once Cheese gets up, I'll get him to take me out. I gotta get some dye anyways. There's some things that I need to dye. And yeah, there's a lot to do before Conquest. It's kind of terrifying the amount of things I have to do and how much time I have to do them, because it's the 20th of July and I leave on like the 3rd of August. So yeah, I'm stressed. I'm very stressed. I think I've decided how big I want to make my leather pouch. I just don't know what size, what thickness of leather I have to get either. Oh, I've frozen again. This is what is going on with my computer. I think it's the Windows update. It wants to update. Probably wants to shove more AI down my throat. One of these days, I'm gonna get fed up and upgrade to Linux. And just, I don't know, wineskin Clip Studio or something. Sounds like my dad's taking my mom for a walk. Got the house to myself, other than Cheese and the cat. Party! Alright, I'm gonna get us going on the timer. I'll see you on the other side. We're gonna sit here and play our guitar. Little Mushy's gonna dance with us. And off to work. Welcome back to Distraction, everybody. How y'all doing? Are we good? Do we just want to skip break and continue working? People locked in today. It's quiet day. It's a quiet Monday. I get it. Everybody's tired. Let's maybe have a sip of our little coffee over here while we're taking break. Character shit's pretty funny on this chair. Not gonna lie. Chair feels too big for the character. Let's have a sip of our own coffee. Little mushroom guy has got his own little cup. Ooh. Oh, another thing I have to do is I have to go to an optometrist. My optometrist that was here back home retired. Hey, Conk, how you doing? And I need to get new contacts for the event. But I need to get a new prescription too. I definitely need a new prescription. My glasses are no bueno now. But I can't afford new glasses. I can afford one set of contacts. So that's what I'll have to do for the event, and just wear my old glasses if I need to not wear my contacts at some point. How you doing, Conk? We're doing co-working today. I'm giving people time to come on in, and then I might do a reading of chapter 1. I'm very nervous about that. Eating more brownies. I had cake yesterday. My friend Rick brought cake to the sushi dinner because there were 4 of us having birthdays this month, and the cake was chocolate. It was too sweet, and this morning I have a little bit of acne because I am technically allergic to chocolate, which sucks. I get acne when I eat chocolate. Hope it goes away before Conquest. It was also way too sweet. Oh my god. Store-bought cakes, I can't eat them anymore. They're just, oh, I couldn't finish eating the slice. It was just too sweet. Ugh. But he did make a balloon Sephiroth for me. And it's amazing. He makes balloon animals. That's what he does. He does parties. And he makes balloon animals. It's a bit strange, the Sephiroth, but I love it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. It takes up a lot of room. I have it like hanging off my mirror, and I keep running into the sword. Ah! Thank you for the hydrate. Let's go back to the greenhouse, and we'll do some writing, because that's what we're doing today. Alright, break time's over. Back to work! What is that? Are they kissing Zeogre? What what is this emote? Just making out with Zeo in the corner. Okay. Alright, back to work. Smith and Grimm. Okay. I step away for a brief second and then get to work. Break time! Perf! Perf! Thank you for the hydrate posture check and the streach. I've already taken the streach. We're gonna take the posture check now. Everybody on shrimp and spines. Give yourself a little wave back and forth. Make sure you at least wiggle off of your tailbone to give it, you know, some relief. My tailbone really hurts today because the benches at the sushi place are really, really, really uncomfortable. I don't know why I keep sitting on them. 15 stream streak! Welcome back! I haven't seen you chat in a little while, but clearly you've been here. Thank you for sharing your time with us here each and every single day. Time is a limited resource, and you choose to share it here with us, which means we're doing something right. It's either me or the community or both, or just the vibes. But either way, thank you. I love this little dude so much right now. Oh, the little mushroom man? He's so cute, yeah. Oh, perf, you gotta see the balloon Sephiroth. My friend, Easy Street Rick, makes balloon animals for parties. That's what he does as his day job. Yeah. He made a balloon Sephiroth. It's pretty cool. I love it. Just woke up. A right hip joint is just pain today. Oof. Yeah, no, that sucks. I'm sorry. I had another, like, shin Charlie horse, like in the front of the shin, where it like makes your toe fold up and your foot fold backwards in half. Last night it was awful. But yeah, little mushroom dude, he draw. I love him. I love him so much. Mushrooms are my favorite food group. Fungus, my favorite food group, and clearly my favorite monster group too. This sword looks sus from it. Yes, it definitely looks like a good long Schwartz. I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. It's got a good curve to it, that one. Perfect for the QB. 5 stream streak! Riff's clothes off. I'm going streaking! But thank you so much for sharing your time with us here. Congratulations on your level up. I need to make it to your streams a little bit more often. Maybe I should just have, like, a tab open somewhere. A tab group with all my friends and just sit in their stream chat every day. Because I don't have time to watch streams anymore. Oh, Ross, you haven't seen it yet either. The balloon Sephiroth. It's beautiful. Rick also made a Goku and Knights from Knights. For Mara and I. So he made a Goku for SSJ Tyler, whose birthday was yesterday, and a Knights for Mara and I, who really likes likes Knights. Knights. It's some sort of, I think it's like a Dreamcast game or something. Hi, Ross. How was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend? You're so much more wholesome about it than me. My response is, thanks for going streaking my stream. Now put your clothes back on. Nah, keep your clothes off. It's getting hot in here, so take off your clothes. Ah, yes, the very long sword, yes. Let's see, your Schwartz is as big as mine. We're doing co-working today. Obviously. And then I have to go buy embroidery needles because I can't find mine. It was very dealing with lower back pain that I'm trying to address. Oof. Also cooking. Cooking is good. Also, Twitch stops counting you as a viewer if you have more than 3 tabs open. Aw, rip. I'll have to be selective of my friends, unfortunately. Rip. Back to work! Blah, 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 blah. Distractions. Okay, after this next work session, we're gonna do the reading. Hopefully I will have refined it enough by then. There's a little bit that I want to add. So hopefully it'll be done on time. Yeah. Ugh. Getting nervous about it. Why am I getting nervous about it? I shouldn't be nervous. My brother got President's Choice ginger ale. And it's gross. It doesn't taste enough like ginger. It tastes more like a lemon soda than ginger. It's not good. Cora! Thank you for the hydrate. I'm out of coffee, so I have to drink the nasty ginger ale. Ugh. Ugh. I don't like it. I hope he never buys it again. How are you today, Cora? Did you have a good weekend? Wait, I'm just pausing to see if messages come in. You're good? That's good. Good is better than bad. So, doing alright. Look at this mushroom dude. He ain't cute. Want to see what my friend made for me? It's a balloon Sephiroth. Grandpa too. Hello. Welcome back. Good to see you again. How was your weekend? We have a balloon Sephiroth. Sephiroth was my favorite character for a really long time. He's been replaced by Wei Wuxian. Anyways, my friend makes balloon animals for parties and stuff as his day job. That's what he does. And, so he made me a balloon Sephiroth. He made a Goku and a Knights as well. I don't know how to explain Knights other than it's like some sort of dream, thing. Kinda got a jester hat. Wears mostly purple. It's hard to get any kind of fidelity with balloons, though. So Balloon Sephiroth is probably the most detailed you're gonna get. It's got the one wing. It was pretty good. Some crafting, talking to the wonderful people from the mercenary camp in Mysterium. And some Red Dead Redemption 2. Nice. Cora had stupid drama happen at a circle involving one of my friends, so that wasn't fun. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. Friend drama is the worst, because you're like, do I have to take sides? And that's annoying. I'm sorry that you had friend drama. Two, I'm glad that you had a good weekend of crafting. I have to go buy some embroidery needles after this because I can't find mine since my move. I hope they turn up one day. But I don't have time to look for them anymore, so I'm just going to go buy new ones. I have to get some dye anyways, so that's going to be my morning after stream. Stream's going to be shorter for the next 2 weeks until after Conquest as well. So after this work session, we're going to take the long break, and then we're going to do a reading during that break. And then we might do one more work session. mouse, please don't double click. Thank you. And then we'll end stream because I got stuff to do. I got so much embroidery to do. Started modifying a linen cotton shirt. It was fun. Nice. I look forward to seeing pictures. You should share them somewhere. We do have the workshops thing if you want to like make a thread about your character for Conquest. What makes it worse is that the reason they were involved is because they didn't choose a side. I hate choosing sides. Because, like, there's two sides to every story. Like, if one is clearer than the other, absolutely choose a side. It's hard to let go of friendships, though. Anyways, I'm going to get back to work so that I can read this chapter after this break. After this work. Okay. Back to work. Oh, look, we have reached the end of work session. Let's turn on the other music. Sin, you're here just in time. We're going to be doing a reading of chapter 1. I didn't get fully through editing, but, I was hoping that, Necromancer would let us know that he's here in time for the reading. I did wait a long time. The tea is going to be here soon, too. So perhaps I should wait for that. I don't know. My dad tends to take my mug early, and sometimes he takes my mug when the tea is just ready. And he took my mug about 3 minutes ago. So I don't know. But since this is the long break, I guess we could probably just go ahead and read. Perhaps we can turn off this for a little bit. I know, unfortunately, you'll lose all the sound and stuff, too. But you still got the music, at least. Question is, should I have the obsidian up? I'm not sure. So that people can read along with me if they want. For the people who have difficulty reading. Or hearing, rather. Yeah, I think that's probably not a bad idea. Oh, there's the tea. Thank you. Let's hide some of our notes a little bit. So, if everybody could tell me if they're ready, that would be great. I'm very nervous about this. I've never done a reading before. And I don't even know if what I've written is good. Like, I've read plenty of books in my life, but just reading things is not necessarily going to make you a good writer, but it makes you a better writer because you've learned to sort of unconsciously learn what's good and what's not. I'm just going to wait a few minutes. Everybody can hear the music, yeah? The VOD watchers won't be able to hear the music, but everybody else should be able to hear the music. Let me have a little stretch. Get my yawns out. Oh, God, my tailbone hurts. The benches at the sushi place are really not good. Alright, we're gonna go for it. Stuff in brackets is not getting read, just so you know, those are references for myself. Should probably just highlight that in yellow. There we go. Alright, this is chapter 1 of the Witch Hunter Society. I'm so nervous. And I do accept constructive criticism, guys. Alright. Another life lost. Eric sucked in a sharp breath between his teeth, the cold autumn air dulling the taste of guilt on his tongue. It wasn't his fault, exactly, but that wasn't necessarily how everyone else saw it. Running his hand down his face, as if to wipe away the exhaustion, the tired man paused to rub the 5 o'clock shadow and stubble ghosting his chin. As heavy droplets of rain thundered against the windshield, he dragged his consciousness back to focus on the white work van parked ahead of him on the side of the narrow road. Trees laden with wet, heavy decaying leaves bowed low around them as if mourning for the loss of summer. Ghost? An impatient voice to his left broke the howling whisper of wind through the surrounding forest. Eric cleared his throat and blinked back whatever thoughts troubled him. Yes, right, sorry. He gave a brief shake of his head, not giving the officer standing next to his open window a passing glance. Please continue your report. The constable frowned at him. I was saying, your people arrived a short while ago. Scene handover should be complete. And the witch? Would we be standing here having a chit-chat if it were still around? The other man shrugged. He was trying to be nonchalant, but Eric could hear the itching undertone of tension carried by his implications. It was Eric's turn to frown. Of course the constable was correct, and of course he was mad. Who wouldn't be? The witch hunters had failed again. Anything on the victim? Eric asked, pulling a large handgun from the center console. He gave it a brief once-over and opened the door, his free hand clicking the button to roll up his window as he stood. The officer stepped back to give him space, his lips set in a line of disapproval at the sight of the other man's weapon. We suspect a transient, but it's still too early to tell, he informed, watching Eric holster the weapon deep inside his long black coat. At that, Eric raised a coal-colored eyebrow at him. Too early. That bad, huh? He heaved a sigh, mental gears worn by exhaustion, grinding way behind steel-gray eyes. More heavy droplets rained down on them, hammering dully against the car's black roof littered with small yellow leaves. The silence between them hung in the air. Tell your superiors that we'll redouble our efforts, he finished, turning his attention to the white van ahead. It was a diplomatic platitude. They both knew it. Eric didn't want to see the scowl boring into his back. The officer gave him what sounded like a sniff of disapproval and turned away, muttering something under his breath as he left. Eric, however, shrugged it off, filing his feelings away for later. He pulled his coat collar up against the cold, damp wind and approached the van, strolling up to the driver's side window. A body hung limp, draped over the steering wheel. Eric huffed with a steepening frown and reached up, giving the window a sharp rap with his knuckle. Instantly, the driver flared to life, lanky arms flying up in a panic, a hand plastering against the window as if to brace against an attack. "Tech!" Eric barked as the window lowered. "What are you doing here?" "Jesus Christ, Commander!" The other man huffed, his already pale face, now a shade of gray. I was asleep," the younger man muttered, rubbing the sleep from his eyes. "If I were the witch, you'd be dead asleep, Hunter," Eric growled. "And stand down," he added, noting pointedly where Tech's right hand rested on a small pistol nestled between his thigh and the center console. Tech rubbed the back of his neck sheepishly. Sorry, sir." Eric waited a beat before snapping a single command. "Report." Tech heaved another heavy sigh and leaned back in his seat, rubbing at the black bags under his eyes. "We got a call for Dose to come and check out a body. Don't know much more than that," he said. "And why are you here? I thought you were off shift." Noting the other's condition, it was clear he probably shouldn't be driving. Eric knew that Leon wasn't necessarily the most adept and combat-aware member of his team, but he also wouldn't normally be so reckless as to fall asleep. "Mother?" he asked, hoping to prompt a logical answer. "Diplomacy," Tech replied with a wide yawn. "Dose Fallen told me to drive her up." "And Eagle?" "Came up with Guillory." Eric frowned at that. What was he doing with Guillory? Tech shrugged, stretching his neck. "I guess he'd gone with Mother? And Chief? I don't know, probably drinking tea somewhere." But you know Dose wouldn't bother him. Won't bother him, sorry. Tech sighed. She shouldn't be bothering you either, Eric pointed out. I'll make sure to have a chat with her. Where are they? Tech gave Eric an apprehensive look, but Eric ignored it. Sonia knew she would be putting Leon at risk by waking him up and dragging him out simply because she hated driving. Eric was willing to take the hit for his technician if need be. Well? Eric growled. Leon gave a sigh of defeat, his silent begging going ignored. Through the tree line there, he said, pointing a short ways up to the narrow road. Sure enough, there was a small break in the trees where a path had been trampled, broken police tape fluttering and snapping in the wind. If you're going to sleep, do it in the back, Eric added sharply as he stepped away. He didn't bother to wait for his subordinate's response. He didn't need to. He glanced both ways out of habit before trotting across the road. There wouldn't be any traffic up here. Not out on this back service road. As he approached the break in the trees, he could see past the bend in the lane where several other emergency vehicles sat parked, facing his way. Clustered around them stood some officers and medical staff. They had seen him and hurriedly turned their gazes or backs on the witch hunter. The only person who made eye contact with him was the city coroner, who nodded his head towards the woods with marked impatience. It almost made Eric's teeth grind, but he steeled himself and stepped into the underbrush, following the trampled path. He only stepped aside momentarily to allow a group of firefighters to pass, hauling their heavy gear and fire extinguishers. Neither party made acknowledgement of the other, and once past, Eric continued. As he stepped from the tree line into an open glade of flowing waist-high grass, the wind whipped up his shoulder-length black hair, snapping at his high cheekbones. He ignored it, sharp gray eyes scanning the field to catch a bob of silky pale wheat amongst the browning grass. There! He waded through the swells and waves of dead or dying plants until they abruptly stopped, replaced with a wide swath of blackened earth, charred down to the bare soil. Here, the deep bone-chill air warmed unnaturally, causing gooseflesh to run up the back of his neck, the smell of rain, burnt grass, and death assaulting his senses. Eric shivered off the horrid chill and stepped into the clearing, black earth meeting a smattering of white foam and a blue tarp held down by a charred field stone. 2 people were there, one crouched next to the tarp, the other standing, his wheat-toned hair whipping about in the wind. "Commander!" he greeted, his voice a cheerful melody dissonant to the macabre scene. "How nice of you to join us," he chirped, his cold, wide smile never quite reaching his large, glacier-blue eyes. He was about to say more when Eric held up a hand to interrupt him. "Eagle? Dose?" Eric acknowledged as the blond man handed his camera to the shorter woman next to him. "Ghost." Dose muttered her greeting, her attention focused on the camera's screen. She blew a stray lock of sandy hair from her eyes, one that wasn't held back by a myriad of multicolored barrettes, only to have it whipped back into place. Eric could see her jaw set in annoyance. If it weren't so windy, he was certain they would be able to hear her teeth grinding from there. He caught Eagle's eye, who merely shrugged, stuffing his hands into his black windbreaker. Commander sighed and wisely stowed his reprimand of his medic away for later and crouched next to the tarp, slipping on a pair of black-fitted leather gloves as he did. "What's the news?" he asked finally. Dose pursed her lips, zooming in on a charred mass in her camera screen. "Well," she began, "if Crispy Freeman is anything to go by here, our witch might put crematoriums out of business." Eric's brow creased as his frown deepened. He reached out, lifting the corner of the tarp, ash fluttering out from underneath, caught in a swirl of wind. He grimaced as he caught sight of a twisted shape, once a hand by the looks of it, but now nothing more than charcoal. "I estimate 1200 degrees, Doe said. Enough to cremate." Ghost reached out with a pen in his free hand, poking the limb to a clear crunch of paper-crisp skin, but not fully. Doe shook her head. "If he had some time, sure." She gestured to the ground around them. They were covered by foam and footprints, but swirls and burn marks were visible underfoot. 8 to 14-second bursts of extremely high-temperature flames, she informed, picking up a piece of material from the dirt. Ghost took it as it was offered, turning it over in his hand. "Glass?" Next to him, Eagle wrapped his arms around his waist. A nervous habit. Eric knew well that what they were all thinking. The witch was getting more powerful, and that meant deadlier. The only reason we even have a corpse is because he was interrupted, Dusk continued through her tone, though her tone was more one of suggestion. Sorry. Eric dropped the tarp and the glass soil. He stood, his mental gear spinning fast, grinding down from exhaustion. Interrupted, he grunted, mulling over the word as he wandered towards the nearby cliff's edge, wind picking up. The steely gaze took in a scene. A horseshoe bay surrounded by cliffs of blue-gray granite, stepping up hundreds of meters. Where they stood was some distance from the medium-density city of steel, glass, and concrete rising out of the natural embrace of the land. Boss? Eagle asked after him, exchanging glances with those as she too stood and handed her camera off to him. They were a little more than halfway up the steps in the cliffs, on a hard-to-access service road. He had seen a few homeless camps on the way up, many of which had been abandoned for some time, but one much more recently and hastily. Pack up, Ghost ordered suddenly. This is nothing more than a distraction. He wanted us up here so he could be down there, he said, turning to face them. As he did, a cacophony of chimes and tones filled the air. Each hunter drew their phones as alerts poured in. They were already too late. I'll drive the van, Eagle said, shouldering the camera bag as Dose hastily picked up her coroner's kit. Eric scrolled through the alerts, jaw clenched. Downtown, sighted at the mall, heading towards. A flash of sunlight breaking through the overcast caught his eye, drawing his gaze below the cliffs, where a passenger train just emerged from a lower cliffside tunnel. Central Station. I'm going to pause there. I'm going to bring up our thing. We're going to hide our obsidian. How did you guys feel about that? If I was half joking, half serious type, I'd tap the glass of the handgun nonchalantly until the driver woke up. In one of my original drafts, I believe I had him do that. That he just tapped the glass with the gun. So that's not all of Chapter 1. Chapter 1's quite a bit longer than that. I just wanted to take a pause. There were a couple places I stumbled over. Sorry. I've never read anything aloud for that long. Oh, I'm freezing again. Ah! As I hate how I keep falling behind. I did try to give people a long time to filter in. But I don't know how people felt about that, whether the writing's clunky or it could just be my reading. I'm all fidgety and nervous now. Back to that dream. Ah. Oh, I'm frozen again. Oh my goodness. I guess there wasn't anybody here for that. You were the only one saying anything. No! I'm gonna drink my tea out of nervousness now. Mega malls. I mean, come on, a height from just standing could kill you if you hit your head just right. You should write this, Ross. Why not? Anyways, I hope it was good. It's my life's work. I mean, maybe it's not so good for life's work, but it is still, like, I'm working on it since 2008. It's very different from what it originally was. Very, very, very different. The original was a romantic comedy. This one has become more like a paranormal mystery, urban fantasy. If anybody has any feedback, I appreciate it. I don't know if I should continue with this kind of thread or it's hard to get people to read things nowadays. And I'm not a particularly good aloud reader. I hope I made it clear that nobody likes the witch hunters. But know that they're necessary. And that you got clips of their personalities. Eric is not above making jokes. He's serious, no nonsense, but he also takes into account the mood of his subordinates. And that they all go by call signs, but they have real names as well. I tried to convey that as much as possible. A little bit about the world. Without lore dumping. I'm all nervous now. Feeling all shy and stuff. Yeah, no, the opening's been the hardest for me. I've tried like 14 different ways to open the story. And it doesn't help that there are certain aspects of the story that changed greatly. Like, the main character in one version was possessed by one of his ancestors who could take over control of his body eventually. And he would have just, like, conversations with a voice in his head. It was really weird. That's been taken out entirely. Their characters have been fully cut. New characters have been added. Some characters have been split into two different people. I think you're the only one that's actually here right now, Ross. So I think you're the only one who actually heard anything. I'm gonna one of my initial... Sorry, I felt like I was getting action too quickly. Well, it depends. Right now, action-packed intros are really popular. But, like, if it's fan fiction, I don't think it really matters that much about what's popular. It's just about what works for your story. Like, this one's set up as, like, a medium pace. So, like, you start out with an investigation as opposed to the witch just immediately attacking. Which I've had one that started... I had a version that started with an attack on the main character, who hasn't even been introduced yet, mind you. He gets introduced in the next scene. There's an attack that happens much later, and I've had the book start with that before. I've had two different attacks by the witch on the main character combined into one. I started the book that way with him appearing. I've had another one where the kid was... the main character was a plant from the witch hunters, like, HQ to suss out disloyal members, witches pretending to be witch hunters to try and destroy the organization from inside out, kind of thing. This has gone through a lot of iterations. It started out as a romantic comedy, and the main character was a girl. At least she was supposed to be the focus. And she is now a side character. Well, she's one of the, I guess, secondary mains or tertiary mains, I guess you'd call it. The start from the view of the antagonist, bad people, is something I'm doing much from a Sekiro fanfiction. Yeah. No, now my main character is he's a good bean. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He has a stutter. He's scared of everything. You don't actually see what John does to the endgame, you just see the aftermath. See, like, I can't relate to a character like that. Characters who are, like, too good at what they do. You have to remember to make your characters relatable in some way. Yeah, no one can really relate to that. That's more of a like the closest you get is John Wick. People can still relate to John Wick because, well, he had his dog killed, his wife died, his home was destroyed. You have to really give your readers a reason to want to cheer on this character who just goes and kills people indiscriminately. Because when you look at it, like, yeah, sure, it's a cartel and a lot of them are bad guys, but also in cartels, there's a lot of people who are there because they're too scared to fight against the cartel or do anything against them, or they're forced to join, or they die, or their families die. That's how cartels operate. It's like, if you don't join us, you're against us, and therefore you're gonna die horribly, right? And just going and killing everybody indiscriminately is a cruel thing to do too, because these people had families and they're just protecting them. You have to think about it from multiple perspectives. You missed the reading, Death. Thank you for the hydrate. We're talking about character development. You missed the reading of the first scene of chapter 1. You were eating? I told you it was coming. Told everyone multiple times. You missed it. It's too bad. You'll have to go back and watch the VOD now. McDonald's. Not even good food. You got a Big Mac. Big Mac. McLarge huge. Big McLarge huge. Yeah, and stories like that can absolutely work for us. Look at John Wick. John Wick killed a lot of dudes. I'm just saying, you gotta be careful with characters like that. You gotta humanize them first before you make them inhuman. Killed a man with a pencil. Yeah. Like, there is a point where my main character, he will do some things that are not good. And you'll learn a lot about Eric and the witch hunters and throughout it. And you'll look at the witch hunters and go, wow, these are bad guys, as most people do. And that's why we're, like, right at the beginning, we showed clearly nobody likes these guys. So why are they the focus? Why are we focusing on them? They're witch hunters. Are witches that bad? Well, clearly this one killed the dude. John Wick is essentially an inhuman character that becomes human to us. Just shows that we can be very situational about what is good. Yes, and they humanized John Wick before they turned him inhuman. And we also have this this need as communal creatures to root for the underdog, and he's one man against like a whole bunch of people who took everything that was important from him. That's why we like John Wick. So you have to be careful with characters like that, right? You have to find a balance. Well, I've seen because while Vigo was telling his son stealing John's car and killing his dog was a royally bad idea, John Wick at the same time is in his basement using a sledgehammer to break open the concrete floor to uncover a few suitcases of hidden weapons and currency. Yup. It was like, you done fucked up. I haven't even seen John Wick. I want to. I just haven't had the opportunity to watch it. Yeah, but at the beginning, if you don't know anything about John Wick, they've humanized him right at the start of the film, right? I haven't seen the film, but I think at the start, uh, when they attack him, you're just like, wow, why they killed this guy and his dog, or they tried to kill this guy, they killed his dog, they destroyed his car, they destroyed his home. You know, it seems unprovoked, and then you learn more about him afterwards. Yeah. I haven't seen it. I just sort of know the basis of the story. And like my main character was kind of like that, where like he was used as a killing machine against other witches by the witch hunting organization that I have in my story. So there are variations in the story where he was a young witch hunter and he chose to join the witch hunters, and then there's variations where the hunters knew he was a witch and they forced him to become a killing machine, but they didn't tell him he was a witch, but they kept a close eye on him in order to nix him when they felt he was getting too powerful or waking up to his powers, kind of thing. Like there's all sorts of variations of the story, and I was like, he's not likable. My main character was not likable. He was cold and abrasive, and he kept pushing people away because all he knew was killing. And he didn't trust anyone because he's like, well, anybody could be a witch. In this new version, like, he's been raised by a loving foster parent against all odds. And there are reasons why he's had to leave home and come to this new continent that is actually an additional continent to Earth. So this is an alt-Earth story where there's another continent in the Pacific. It's small. It's about the size of New South Wales. I don't know how much of that ever gets mentioned in the story, but like over time you start to realize that the place where they're living, Europa, is not any place on Earth that's extant. But I still made magical new continent work as best as I could, physics-wise. Unlike other people who add new continents to the Earth, like I talked about in a previous stream. It's like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. First of all, continental drift wouldn't be that fast. It's like, bruh. Everybody loves a handsome killer. Yeah. It's almost like you saying you've never seen the original Star Wars. I fortunately have seen the original Star Wars. I just have not had the opportunity to watch John Wick. First of all, the only streaming service we have, I think, is Netflix. I haven't lived at home in 15 years. It just never came up as something to watch. And... yeah. Continental Tokyo Drift. Yeah. Took me a second, I was like, yes. Hey, Fantasy. You missed the reading. Why are you nervous? Nervous. Or nervous. Continental Tokyo Drift. Oh yeah, in this one other author's case, probably. I'm just nervous after my D&D session. It went unexpectedly for my poor rogue. I was nervous doing my reading. But now I can't read anymore because many of you missed the first part. I'll have to read more tomorrow, I guess. Give people time to catch up and watch the VOD or something. But if you have feedback, I accept feedback. Did your rogue die? Did your rogue nearly die? Did your rogue get caught? Did they do a dumb? We're in storytelling mode today. I've been watching a lot of, like, fiction reviews and people talking about, you know, bad writing and good writing and writing research and whatnot. So, I know a lot about my subject. I just don't know if I'm a good writer or not. Because, like, I've only ever had people I know read it, and then, like, that's usually not a good indicator, and I can't get strangers to read it. Dirty soap water? How is that traumatizing? That's just wet. Yeah, it's gross, but... There's some cultural drift blending, such as space nides and earth nides. Oh. Okay. Look at that mushroom. He's very mischievous. That's right. Ignore it. Chat with us instead. You're busy. You're busy hanging out with other creatives, doing creative things. God, why am I tired? It's the, I had an adrenaline rush and now I'm tired thing, I think. Fantasy is streaking, 50 stream streak. My power grows. Indeed it does. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us here each and every single day. You know I appreciate it. Say it every time. Even when you're not streaking, you know I appreciate it. So, the attention economy is it's very stretched thin these days. Especially since everybody's turning to streaming in an attempt to make money because there's no jobs. Son, you ruined my life, Dad. How can I ruin your life? I wasn't even there. Because 2 minutes my rogue nearly drowned. Stood out right after me. I was scared of the crew member. Yeah. L is not taking no for an answer. Well, I hope it's something at least urgent. But yeah, so we did the reading of the first scene. I'll probably read the next scene tomorrow, which is the next half of the chapter. Well, I'd say it's a little bit more than half, but yeah. Just slightly. We already been going 2.5 hours? Jeez. The writing kind of sucks. Well, all you can do to fix that is write more. Write more and lots more. And be vicious with cutting. You have to be vicious with yourself. I've cut a lot out of my story that I thought was really good. And then I wanted to keep in. But every word on your page should be there for an absolutely specific purpose. And if you're uncertain, read more books. You have to read in order to be a good writer. Because that's how you learn what works and what doesn't. If you think your writing sucks, then write more and keep writing. Because my writing definitely sucked. Oh, it was so bad. It's better now. I don't know if it's good or not, but it's much better now. My crime novel, my first chapter went from 70 pages to 20. Yeah, that's probably a good thing. Anytime I call you, answer it. Or just turn off the phone. How about that? You know, I think you need to do some things that are reckless. I recently watched a video studying some human psychology stuff, and those people that broke the rules all the time in school who were always bad, yeah, they ended up with kind of shitty lives. But the people who followed the rules all the time, like to a T, also ended up with kind of shitty lives. It was the people who learned to play the field and do things for themselves who were the ones that best learned how to be independent, how to make decisions, and how to move forward in life. I was one of the people that always followed all the rules. I was the good kid, never did anything wrong, and I can't seem to get anywhere in my life. I think you just need to fuck up sometimes. And it's safest to do that when you're a kid. The next best time is right now. So you know what? Next time he calls, don't answer. Just keep not answering. Just be, oh, I didn't hear it. Oh, look, the ringer was off. I didn't notice, sorry. And if he gives you shit for it, give him shit right back. Just be like, I'm not perfect, and I never will be. Stop pretending I am. Yeah. And just turn around and point out fuckface and be like, you let him get away with so much, but I'm not allowed to? Fuck off. How about that? Fuck off. How do you like that? Would you like me to be like him? Unreliable? What are you gonna do? Kick me out? You didn't even kick him out. And as far as I understand it, fuckface has actually been to jail. If I had gotten arrested for anything, my parents would kick me out. Yeah, I just simply wouldn't have shown up for detention either. No, what are you gonna do about it? Suspend me? Okay, I'll take a vacation. Yeah. When you push the good kid into the corner and they finally snap, it's never a good thing. We do. We snap in unexpected ways. And you never know who's going to be the I'm snapping violently or I'm just going to snap and stand up for myself. And the rest of you can fuck right off and I'm not going to listen to you anymore. Your authority is meaningless. He's like, what are you going to do then? Kick me out? Oh no. Such a travesty. Get my GED on my own. Fuck your school. Doesn't even have education anyways. I'm assuming this is Kendrick Lamar? It's the only Kendrick I know of. And other than that, I only know the name exists. What does he do? I have no idea. I'm guessing he's a rapper in this case, being associated with Drake. In high school, I snapped violently when my bully accidentally broke my ex-best friend's arm, and I just beat him up. Nice. Yeah, my bully tried to throw me in front of a truck after I finally stood up for myself. I attacked someone with a meter stick once too in grade 8. And then in grade 9 I stood up for myself against my female bully. Grade 8 was the male bully, grade 9 was the female bully. And then she ganged up on me with like 9 other people because I guess she was too scared to go by herself. She was definitely scared of me. The only way that she could deal with me was by dragging me down. I bet you she's in jail. I would not be surprised if she were in jail by now. She better be. Her life better be fucking shit. She tried to kill me. Yeah, Rouse, I have no idea what you're saying. Those are weird words that are meaningless. My bullies will never apologize to me. I can only hope that their lives are garbage. And I don't generally wish that lightly on people. Like, I want most people to have good lives. There are just some people that just, frankly, don't deserve it. But they're usually the people who are on the top of the world. If Usonia has anything to go by. It's the worst people. They're always living the high life. And the good people are always struggling. My worst bully was my female teacher. My grade 6 teacher, I'm pretty sure, bullied me a lot. And I was too stupid to realize he was bullying me. Because I was like, why would my teacher bully me? I only realized it, you know, as I became an adult. I'm like, he was definitely bullying me in front of the class. It's worse when it's the adult that you're supposed to trust, the adult that's supposed to protect you, is the one that's doing it. It's always the worst. But, you know what? Stream is ending. I didn't think we would go for the whole time today. But we went a lot longer than I wanted to, and I need to go get embroidery needles and dye. I need to make a list of which dyes I need. She told me I would never be a writer, so I got revenge by winning 2 writing competitions in English. And then I'm gonna publish my book. Yeah. Well, I think you should publish your book for you, and not to get back at her. So we are off sailing to other waters. We're ending on kind of a dark note, but you can watch the show on Distant Lands and find new adventure. Ross, thank you for being here for the reading. Everybody else, you'll have to go to the VOD. It's where I turn off Spirit City in the background, so you'll be able to scrub through and find it pretty fast if you want to listen to it. I accept feedback. You can just go to my library thread and give feedback if you want. I'd be happy to hear it. Constructive criticism. And I will see you guys tomorrow, and we'll read the rest of Chapter 1. Make sure you share parts of it, Fantasy. I hope you do. But we're gonna go now. We're gonna remember. I love you. Bye-bye.